Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Thursday, March 12th. Got a coffee. It's a little after 4 in the morning, 4:20 after 4. Appreciate all the comments yesterday. You know, this channel is better when you guys are involved. Way, way better. I can't say that enough. That your input is very important because my goal has always been with this channel to teach and share information. And we're not charging anybody. And what I find is most of the people that are partaking in the conversations and stuff are a lot of old school. And when I say old school, back in his day it was a handshake and that was an agreement. And I still do it that way. To this day, it's a handshake, But I thought we'd go a little bit farther today on the way the economy is and some of the things that are coming down the pike. Stay tuned. Alright, so welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and this is the weekday show, Monday through Friday. I do put out videos on the weekend, and I do put out some repair videos during the week. But this is the Monday through Friday morning. Let's have some coffee. Let's shoot some crap, and share information with each other of what we see coming down the pike. Because each area is different, right? And who you have for customers is different. If you're in a higher income bracket area, you're probably not going to be as affected as someone that lives far rural and are making $40,000 to $50,000 a year. Does that make sense? It does. You just think about it. I mean, if it's all in where you're doing business. I know that things are going to be tight this year with my customers. I can already see it. And I can already see it because I'm watching inflation. I'm watching what stuff is worth and how much stuff costs. And I think Ed mentioned it here a while back. We're talking about the beef cows. I can use that for a prime example, guys. I've got 56 head of Angus, red and black. I got some red and white Herefords and a couple black and white Herefords. Now, just 2 years back, I could buy one of these coming through the sale for $600 to $800, and then hopefully it's bred to have a baby, in 9 months. If not, still you could throw a bull in with them. And at the time at the sale, calves were bringing 80 to 90 cents a pound. Now, due to the drought that was out west the last couple of years, and then Texas is getting extremely hit in the upper part of the state, and that's where most of their cattle industry is. So what's going on? Well, they've got a choice. They either got to figure out where to truck them where there's no fire, or send them for slaughter. Send them for hamburger and steaks. And many have opted to do that. Okay? That's just, as much as you hate to do it, that's smart business. Some have lost a lot of cattle in that wildfire that's actually spread over in Oklahoma. So what does that all mean to, you and I on the street? It means we're going to see a short spurt of where prices in the grocery store is going to come down a little bit. But then, folks, it's gone. Because already from the drought, not in Texas, out in the Midwest, it's taking our calves. This is newborn to 2 weeks old. Your average calf weighs about 90 to 120 pounds, okay? Now, if you remember, I mentioned 80 to 90 cents a pound was the going rate just a short time ago. Right now, on the low end, it's $7 a pound. This is for a calf. And if it's got a little bit of Angus in it, it bumps it up to $9 a pound. Why is that? Well, it's because the Midwest are trying to get their herds built back up. And they're willing to pay big money to get that herd built back up. And Texas is going to be doing the same thing for the ones that, had to ship their cattle for slaughter because they had no place to send them. They're going to try to get back in once the wildfires are contained and the grass starts growing again. They're going to try to take that money and buy back. Now, if you listen to me, I told you mama cows, 600-800 and possibly bred. If you can bump a calf on a mama cow, $3,200 to $3,500 for that animal. 600-800, $3,200 to $3,500 is what that animal is bringing. That's how much the value of my herd has skyrocketed. Now, most people would tell me now's the time to get out, right? Ship them, make some money. But the writing on the wall says, we ain't done, folks. It's going to go higher. That's going to be trickle-down economy. That's going to mean hamburgers going to go from $4 or $5 a pound up to $8 or $9 a pound. So what's that got to do with you, right? Or me? It means that we're going to have even less disposable income. Or we're going to go on a diet, one or the other, or eat lettuce. I talk with producers around the U.S. that are friends of mine that are in beef. And they're all saying the same thing. Because what I normally do is I've done 3 so far this winter. And that is selling my animals by the half. And you're like, how can you sell your animal by the half? Well, this is where I sell it directly to the consumer. But I asked that the consumer at least buy half that cow hanging. And I charge $4 a pound. So the minimum you're going to pay is $4 a pound for hamburger. The maximum you're going to pay is $4 a pound for steak. So it averages out. And for you guys that don't know it, if you have 1,000-pound animal, they dress half. So now you're down to 500 pounds hanging. Cut it in half. Now you're down to 250 pounds. So you take 250 pounds, or if you take the 500 times 4, there's $2,000 for that beast, that animal, that I will get. But now if it's costing me $3,200 to $3,500 to replace it, is it feasible? And the answer is no. The ones that I've shipped have been all steers. And they're about 2-year-olds. And I've got another 7 that are in that 1,000, 1,200 pound range. And what I'm being told is to hold on them. They will grow up to almost 2,500 pounds if I let them get another year on them with quality feed. And fellow producers are saying you need to take that $4 a pound and double it to $8 a pound. That's good news for me, right? But it's not. When you're in an area like mine where people have less disposable income and they're trying to make their budget count, you kind of just price them out of the market. Does that make any sense? So again, how does that reflect onto our trade? Our trade is service oriented, and the service industry always gets hurt the most when prices of stuff go up, because people have less disposable income to pay for those services, and they start looking at, how can I do it myself? So the topic today is, how do you get those customers in the door and keep your business doors open? Because if you have more and more people doing their own services instead of you doing it, that's less money coming into the shop. So I think that we as repair shops have got to think a little more outside the box for the next couple of years. And I'd like to have your take on it. Very important. But what I'm looking at is, do I do like installment plans? Do we become kind of like a bank, with interest rates and so much a month? In other parts of the country, I know shops that give a straight rate across the board that will make sure that all your equipment is done for X number of dollars. You pay so much a month throughout the year. And that covers your lawnmowers, snow blowers, any lawn garden stuff. And it spreads it out over a 12-month period, meaning they pay less. I'm seeing it here locally with like your trash. We have one company called Trash, Grass, and Snow. And what they do is they give you a bid of how much a month it's going to cost you. And they will take care of all your garbage. You just got to put it up by the curb. They'll take care of all your trimming, mowing, everything in the yard. And then when winter comes, they'll take care of all the snow blowing, plowing, and so forth. And they break it down into 12 months. And if it doesn't snow a lot, they'll make a little extra. But if it snows more, then they're stuck with that bid that they gave instead of an estimate. I know for us, we had this warm spell last week and into the weekend where we started getting our customers spurred and we started doing lawnmower services, which is great for us, right? I'm stocked, ready to go for the summer. But then Mother Nature threw us a curveball again, and Sunday and Monday were extreme snowfalls. I mean, it had a travel advisory and everything else because we were getting what they call sugar snow. So snow's back on the ground again. Yesterday morning it was around 18, 20 degrees. And by the time I fed my cows in the afternoon, it was almost up to 40. It was 36, 37. And they're forecasting today and tomorrow into almost 60 again. So I'm hoping that'll spur more people. But again, it's location, location, location. Some of you guys are already swamped. And that's great. All the power to you. But for us in the North Country, in the northern part of the state, we're still waiting for Mother Nature to tell us, that it's getting close to grass time. So as far as doing anything different for plans this year, I'm not going to do anything different. I'm just going to kind of hope for the best and see where it leads us. I think it's going to be more of an issue next year than it is this year. I think we're going to see another year like we did last year where, we still see a lot of units, don't get me wrong. That's why I buy cases of oil filters and fuel filters and so forth. But I've always got room for more. We could do more if we had more. And I think that we as shop owners have to really get creative with our budgets and where we can save time and money. And I like the fact that you, Travis, had said yesterday, when we as shop owners are looking at, I can't justify charging that much for my customer, that we need to ship up or ship out, right? You'll say. We need to figure out where the efficiency issues are and streamline it. If it's taking longer to do something than it should have, why? And I know that with you guys' help, especially for me, because I'm one of the most organized, disorganized people out there, is that with being more organized, and I do listen to you guys, that I have everything close by to do my work now instead of spending a lot of time walking around the counters everywhere else. I have my whole bay set up inside where my office is. And that's why, I do the chainsaws, trimmers, the small stuff. Do I do the big stuff out in the other bays in the summer? Absolutely. If things start picking up, I'm out there. It's wherever the work is. But I'd like to hear what's going on in your area. What are you hearing? What are you seeing? Are you slammed right now? You got customers up the yin-yang? Or are you still in a holding pattern like us, so we're still waiting for those customers to come out of the deep freeze and get ready for summer? So I'm going to start wrapping things up for Thursday morning. Again, what's going on in your area? I'm interested to know. I would assume that you guys that are in the north, like I am, we're not seeing our big steady thing of customers just yet. It's still early yet. The Mother Nature has kind of spurred a few of them to get their stuff out earlier. But what are you seeing? What are the trends in your area? Are you going to do business as usual, or are you changing things up? No. Are you trying to streamline things better so that you're more efficient? I'd like to know. And I'd like to have you share it with the rest of us, just like I'm going to share anything I come upon that I think might help you. So on that note, you guys have a great Thursday. We've got a side-by-side we got to finish up today. We've got a four-wheeler that's finished we got to kick out. We've got a skid steer Gale that came in for a hydraulic leak on the cylinder, and a service. We'll get that done today. So we're still staying busy, but just not as busy as I would like it to be. I like to have the yard full of stuff, right? But on the other hand, I don't, because a lot of my customers that are new look at, if they come by your yard and they see all these pieces of equipment, they're going to think you don't have time to get them in and get them out quickly. So I keep the front of my shop cleaned up, and it's not we put them somewhere else. We just nail them in and out fast. We get, and that's where it's nice, because I can tell my customer, a new customer, when they say, well, how long until you're able to get to it? I always say, how long can you get to get it to us? And you're looking at maybe a day or two. So on that note, you guys have a great Thursday. Comments are always greatly appreciated. And maybe you guys can tell me what's going on in your area. All right. Catch you later.